and it's also somewhat sad. But I mean, it is the landscape of what happens now, one way or another. We've got a trending topic of conversation, my favorite term, topic of conversation, on Twitter, currently floating around, of a scene from the Ball family's show. I think Ball in the Family or something like that. Some punny title. It's on Facebook Live, I think. Or I think it's on Facebook Live. That's the more grammatically correct way of stating it. But there was a discussion about perhaps changing the name of the Big Baller brand company or business that LaVar Ball owns and operates. I guess the majority of the conversation stemmed from a perhaps broken perception of consumers due to the financial and criminal issues that the company faced, I believe, earlier this year or last year, or something along those lines, after some poor financial decisions were made by someone that was entrusted with power in the company. Now, for one, I think the term Big Baller Brand is a really stupid name. Triple B, don't get me wrong, is an interesting acronym, mostly for the fact that the Better Business Bureau also has that, but in regards to it at least has a suitable acronym. But you think about many merchandise distributors, many companies that have a sort of entity in sports. Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Puma, Champion. They all have very simple but yet unique names, and they both have something about them that is a very clear identifier of what it is. You see a check mark, a swoosh check mark, you think Nike. You see the U and the A combined at the bottom of and top of each letter respectively, you think of Under Armour. The leaping Puma, you think of Puma. Alright, Adidas, you have that little fucking sailboat logo, whatever the fuck you call it. You have that Adidas logo, very recognizable for Adidas. Champion, the C with the silver, red, and blue. It's now a luxury brand, but still, you get the point. Big Baller Brand doesn't have anything of note. It doesn't have anyone of note signed to it in an exclusive deal in the first place. And the shoe that they originally released was for much too much money for the for the demographic that they were trying to get involved with and trying to infiltrate. Not to mention the shoe ended up, and I'm stating this out of what I have heard, because I did not buy the shoe, clearly, was a piece of shit and would fall apart and did not look aesthetically pleasing. But the bigger conversation about that whole clip from the show was a statement made by LaVar Ball in passing of someone suggesting to change the name of the Big Baller Brand business was like changing Lonzo Ball's name to Alfonso Ball because he was quote-unquote damaged goods, in referring to his very underwhelming run with the Los Angeles Lakers of the NBA. Now, it sparked controversy, clearly, because there is a litany of people, a migration of people that have never had a stern hand in their life going, "Oh, a father should never say this to their son!" And whatever else could possibly be the case. And while I don't necessarily disagree, at the end of the day, you need to give your kids some motivation to succeed in life, away from your dumb ass, if you're not going to be a parent fighting towards the best for your child. You should give them a stern hand to be able to bring in some confidence for them to succeed on their own. So, I get both arguments. on the topic. However, it was more along the case of I saw a lot of people, I don't know if it was joking or if it was making fun of the situation, but were stating that Lonzo Ball was damaged goods. And then when those people would have those kind of comments, a sort of retort from a lot of people was stemmed off of a later statement made by LaVar Ball, in which LaVar Ball said the three Ball sons, Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, and LiAngelo Ball, were all products of his machine. Not products of his semen or his seed. That's very clearly the case, as that's how procreation works. But their success in regards to relevancy and attention in regards to media were all because of LaVar Ball. And no matter how you feel about how an individual parents their children, you never want to hear a parent take responsibility for their children's success and demean the effort that their children put in towards achieving that success, unless their children were just handed that success by the parents. If they have a restaurant that they owned that their parents bought for them, that's where you can make the claim that it's okay for the parent to go, well, you're only successful in owning this business because I bought it for you. That's completely acceptable because that's, factual. They bought it for them. They wouldn't have it without them. And while there is that select demographic that goes, oh, well, he shouldn't be taking responsibility for Lonzo Ball's success. Lonzo Ball succeeded on his own. He played the basketball games. I can't help but think that in this case scenario, the Ball brothers having the kind of attention that they have now is mostly due to LaVar Ball's antics. LaVar Ball is a figure in sports and really in the media that is a very, very, very heftily controversial personality in the wide general vicinity of media. He is a very, very big vacuum of attention. And that attention allowed for Lonzo Ball's stock to rise as more teams were made aware of Lonzo Ball. More teams in the NBA, I say, took notice and began looking at Lonzo Ball while he played for the UCLA Bruins in the NCAA. Same thing with LaMelo, same thing with LiAngelo. They got the ability to play, I believe, basketball in the Ukraine because of that. And Lonzo Ball was slated as a top 3 pick in the NBA. LaVar Ball made the claim that Lonzo Ball would be the change for the Los Angeles Lakers. He'd be the guy to bring back the dynasty days that Kobe and Shaq had, and Magic had. And he didn't have that, and he didn't do that, and he was sent to New Orleans, and now he's going to play in New Orleans this year. So the Lakers wasted a second overall pick in the first round of the NBA draft, I believe 2017, on a guy that was out of the team in 2 years. But there was a lot of people back in 2017 that thought Lonzo Ball would shift the landscape of the NBA. The second Lonzo was drafted to the Los Angeles Lakers, LaVar Ball immediately said that Lonzo would bring the Lakers to the postseason in his first year playing with the team. He didn't. Let's just make that clear. He did not. But it was all so amusing for media, the sports media especially. And Lonzo Ball had to go about his day and play basketball despite his father's comments, making himself look like a fucking idiot, which is a fantastic promotional ploy, because no matter what it may be, good attention or bad attention is still attention. And at the end of the day, if you crave such a thing, if you crave attention, and attention is your drug, it doesn't matter whether the attention you're getting is good or bad, it is giving you your fix. Lonzo Ball played pretty poorly in Los Angeles. He had a few decent moments He was great on the defensive side of the ball, much better than people gave him credit for. Couldn't shoot for shit, but that improved while he was in the league. But at the end of the day, Lonzo Ball is just another guy without LaVar Ball's antics. Now, here's the thing. That's not just me stating an opinion. That is word for word what LaVar Ball himself said in that clip. Now, the way I said it, you'd think it was just my opinion. And you'd hear that opinion, and you'd think about what I had just said and the proof that I had given to give that opinion such a strong backing. You thought it was my opinion. You thought my opinion had credibility. Well, I made the same argument. But it was LaVar Ball's opinion, because those were his words. I just gave that opinion some credibility. And without knowing who had that opinion, most of you probably went, yeah, fairly logical to think that, assume that, and as a matter of fact, it's pretty substantial. That is the case, and it's a reasonable conclusion to come to. If you take away who said what, you're just left with the statement, which is how we need to look at everything in order to avoid bias. But, one way or another, the statement made has concrete substance to it. Is it indisputable? No. It's a matter of opinion. But, it's a matter of opinion that most people would agree with, which not only makes it an emotionally favored opinion to have, but a statistically favored opinion to have. And while Lonzo Ball is the guy playing those games, while Lonzo Ball is the guy that will probably be one of the more stronger members of the supporting cast for Zion Williamson in his rookie year with the New Orleans Pelicans, it's LaVar Ball that got him that opportunity in the first place. LaVar Ball was the guy that bought that restaurant for his child. And while Lonzo Ball has had a shaky first few years of service, it seems like he's on the pathway to having a select, loyal audience, following whatever cuisine he decides to put out. However, when it comes down to it, in my opinion, LaVar Ball is the reason for why Lonzo's restaurant is on the right track. Lonzo doesn't have the ability to buy that restaurant outright. That restaurant is under different management right now, had it not been for LaVar Ball. And Lonzo Ball has the ability to be a strong member of the supporting cast for the New Orleans Pelicans in the 2019 to 2020 NBA season because of LaVar Ball. And there is a lot of people that are going to be very, very, very sensitive to that idea, but it's the truth, at least in my mind. Had it not been for LaVar Ball's antics, as absurd and outrageous as they were, Lonzo Ball would not have been a second pick. Lonzo Ball would not have been a member of the Lakers. He would have not have gotten the playing time in his first year to be able to truly evolve on the court itself during actual gameplay, had it not been for his father, LaVar Ball. And Lonzo Ball is not set up for the opportunity to be a strong member of the supporting cast of Zion Williamson's New Orleans Pelicans in the 2019 through 2020 NBA season had it not been for LaVar Ball. I think the company needs a different name change, or a name change in general, yeah, because it kind of needs some semblance of an identity that isn't already shared with something. The WWF learned that in 2001. But at the end of the day, Lonzo Ball is not Lonzo Ball without LaVar Ball. He's just another guy in the NBA with another dad that is a nobody. He's not living in a mansion. He doesn't have a Facebook series. He doesn't have a shoe brand. probably doesn't have a job in the NBA right now, had it not been for LaVar Ball. So while you can take as much sensitivity from that and run me down for, supporting this kind of behavior from a parent, a father figure, at the end of the day, it's what I and probably many others believe. And I think it's a pretty strong belief to have in regards to having some substance to back it up with. Hardy Complex back in 60.